Educational purposes only.
The newest illegal immigrant caravan headed for our southern border. Kamala Harris is promising to do something to secure our border if she's elected. What if she started with this growing caravan that's coming across Mexico right now?
Why does she have to be? Why do we have to wait for her to be elected? They've had 4 years in office. She's in the second most influential position in this matter in the White House.
These speeches, as good as they were, is that she's in the White House right now.
Kamala Harris, the first female vice president of the United States, has been a polarizing figure. While some praise her accomplishments, others criticize her actions and question her motives. There have been so many controversies surrounding Kamala Harris.
22 million
come
black
soak up some of this knowledge
of Americanism are waking up.
Pay attention. We're
And
gonna
they're
talk.
gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections.
As that gets formed, we just woke up here a little bit ago after late last night deal. So
performance, and then she was everybody's favorite Hindu Indian prosecutor and attorney general and senator, and now she becomes black.
I learned that with the swipe of my pen,
when I got convicted, Kamala Harris was in the courtroom.
And because of the swipe of my pen, that person could be arrested. They could sit in jail for at least 48 hours.
When I got sentenced 50 to life in prison, Kamala Harris was in the courtroom.
They could lose time from work, and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help.
Originally sounds Bang Bang was seeking.
And wrongfully convicted by the office of Kamala Harris.
I could charge someone with the lowest level of...
She locked up more black people than any DA in San Francisco history.
People in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
She did prosecute almost, I think, 1,900 marijuana cases. Those folks had permanent records.
They lose standing in their community, all because of the swipe of my pen. So I learned at a very young age.
Sentenced 50 to life in prison. It took me 5.5 years to ultimately get back in the trial due to prosecutorial misconduct. And it took me another year to go to my second trial, to which I was vindicated by a jury of my peers.
Weeks later, I could dismiss the charges, but their life would forever be changed.
For all of the talk about division and the problems in the country and people are hurting, Democrats have mostly controlled this country.
We've been getting tricked for fucking votes. How long you gonna keep getting tricked for votes and ain't seeing no goddamn results, man?
I think it's pronounced Kamala Harris.
When I call her Camilla.
Camilla?
Yeah.
You just gonna run with that?
Yeah, when I call somebody something, that would make me special.
Kamala Harris said she got her political star, her political upstart, because she was dating this guy, Willie, can't think of his last name right now, and he was married, and he was in his 60s, and Kamala Harris was just a spring chicken, and that is how she entered the political scene.
So if mama is on the birth certificate listed as a Caucasian, daddy says he's a Caucasian Hindu and has no black ancestors, how did she get to be black?
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent.
It is so clear that black people follow whatever the fuck they say.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Why? If you can't do anything just for black people, this is what she said. It came out of her mouth. If you can't do anything just for black people, how was it possible for you and President Biden to do all these other things for specific ethnic groups in this country? Like Barack Obama, they do what they need to do to stay close to the white power structure.
Is the vice president of the United States really on the side of the people?
This is about our people demanding the resources, just as you're giving these people, these newcomers who are walking into this country. How do you take a new group of people that have paid no taxes, can't vote, and you put them in front of the voters?
Because of the 94 crime bill. That got all of us locked up. And that shit that he said on the floor of the Senate.
I don't care why
someone is antisocial. I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society, but they are in jail.
Hurts that much more.
We are done with the Democratic Party. Brandon Johnson, Governor Pritzker, and President Biden have shown us what they think about the black community all over this country. And so we're standing here today to say, okay, if that's what it is, we with it. We don't have to support the Democratic Party.
Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
You have betrayed us. You have lied to us. You have opened the borders and let animals in that have been hurting our American brothers and sisters. And I'm not talking about the good ones.
Hey, check this out. Joe Biden ain't who you think he is. His family's so corrupt, from his brother to his kids. Matter of fact, Hunter Biden, his son, rich and foolish. You'll be shocked to know what they found on his computer. Incriminating information they don't want public. They whistleblowers selling out the American government. You think the media picked that up and told us the truth about the Biden administration and evil that they do? But everybody know that Joe's a Joe. He was labeled as a liar 30-something years ago. Caught plagiarizing, giving speeches someone else wrote. Like the speech Neil Kent had gave that he stole. Can't believe a word that this nigga say. Lying mouth wide. How you was vice president out here accepting bribes? Oh, you ain't think we knew about that? When Obama was the president, you slipped behind his back. Accepting multi-million-dollar deals. Sold out his pills. And he's still that same old sellout nigga still. Matter of fact, you worse. Your dementia is a curse. And your deal with the devil got you closer to the hearse. Somebody come and get this nigga. Let's in peace this nigga. If you supporting Biden, then I can't reason with you. Trump, we waiting on your time like a wristwatch. Tick-tock, Joe Biden, please go somewhere and sit down. Cause honestly, you ain't it now.
Democrats have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years. And somehow, it's still all Trump's fault, and somehow she hasn't been at the center of it. So,
no, I'm talking about you right there. Fam, you're not talking to me. Because I'm not going to no fucking war. What the fuck? You ain't getting this shit?
Let me make myself crystal fucking clear. My son, he ain't going to war for you. Why should my son go to war for you? When all of you have done is shown that you don't give a fuck about my family, and you surely don't give a fuck about the American people's family.
Why does she say shit like this?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
And then when I look back and I've seen her.
She's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is. And the party's going downhill if it's in her hands.
Trump had it for 4. The Obamas and Biden had it for the rest of the time.
I'd rather deal with the snake that's outfitting himself of the Republican Party than the snake that's covered up in the Democratic Party.
Can you talk about what you were offering in regards to tax cuts at the very end, and what was maybe rejected?
So our big push initially was the Social Security elimination. That was a campaign promise both Democrats and especially Republicans made throughout the campaign and into the session. But we saw that the Democrats had no appetite in eliminating that. So instead of fighting that fight, knowing that they were not gonna accept that, we said, well, let's at least we put $1 billion in the tax target. We offered that as well, so they didn't have to raise taxes on Minnesotans, and they rejected that. And then what we said was, can we at least give $800 million back through some sort of a rebate program, much like the governor has proposed? Can we do that for Minnesotans? All of these areas, were not agreed to because it just was not a priority of the Democrats. And so we worked very hard on finding different avenues to get that money back to people.
She needs to start doing something now, but she won't because she's never going to do anything.
Site, and if y'all know me, I harass back. I am a troll, and I will tear your ass up. But it's a lot of people that don't operate like that. They just want to vote for who they vote for in peace. They want to like who they like in peace without being attacked. We live in the United States of America. I could vote for who I vote for. You could vote for who you vote for. That's neither one of our business, so we're going to leave it at that on this.
She was smiling, and she did that stupid ass laugh that she do right now. This shit ain't funny.